Hi friends, Mindy here. I'm sharing my plan with me for April 2024. I'm going to be doing a coffee theme this month. I have already gone ahead and done all my major line work with my micron pens in the brown color, and then I am using these other pens. These are Faber-Castell dual brush markers, and I'm going to use these for several things throughout this. I love this because this brush tip works really well if you want to do kind of faux calligraphy. I thought I was going to go back and kind of maybe make some of those lines a little bit more bold, but in the end I just kind of liked how it was just like this. So I'm going ahead and just leave that. And then you can buy those open stock from By the Well for God. I will put that affiliate link down below. That's where I got mine. So I'm also using a stencil here from By the Well for God and some Distress Oxide. This is tea dye, I believe. And I've tried to keep this pretty simple for this month. I was a little late actually getting my plan with me together. My daughter was in town, and so I was just spending time with her. I think I will probably come back to this page. I want to add a little bit more, but I am not sure at this moment what I want to add. So right now I'm just erasing the stray pencil marks there, and then I am going to move to the next page, and like I said, I'll come back to that cover page. This is my month at a glance calendar, and again I'm just going to use that Faber-Castell marker over there to write April. I always do like a cover page, and then even on the calendar I always write out the month. It's just habit at this point. So I know it seems like a repeat, but that's just kind of how I do it. And then I'm using a Pentel Sign pen for the top for the lettering, and then I have some stamps that I'm going to be using. So I have this set. This is from Sweet and Sassy Stamps, and I was thinking that this little coffee cup is, I want to put the numbers for the days in there, but it just felt like it was a little bit too big. So I am going to use this as a set from Studio Calico that has a couple different smaller coffee cups, and this one was just a little bit too boxy, and so I really liked the shape of this other one, and so I'm going to take that little guy and stamp that for all of the days in April. I just thought it would kind of be a cute little idea. This is some archival ink in ground espresso, and I'm just stamping that, and then I'll go through and number all of the days just to add a little bit of interest on there. And I'm going to use a green marker for the numbers of the day just to try to bring in some color. And then I'm also going to be putting a little stamp down in the bottom corner in these kind of open boxes. This is from Sweet and Sassy Stamps as well, and it's I'm using that Faber-Castell marker. That's the great thing about these dual brush markers. The brush tip you can use over your stamps, and so I'm just kind of taking the side of it, inking up the stamp, and then I can stamp it in that same ink that I'm using for this month, and so everything will coordinate really well. And then this little box says, I wonder if coffee thinks about me too, which I just think is hilarious, so I put that in there. And then I'm using a green flare marker pen for the numbers that I just hand wrote in there, and then I'm going to come back through. This is another stencil from By the Well for God, but in the end I decided to just go with the coffee rings again, and again the same Distress Oxide in tea dye, just adding a little bit of interest here and there. This page ends up kind of getting busy usually throughout the month, and so I don't want to add too much to it, but I am adding a little bit down here in these kind of empty boxes where the calendar itself stops. I had intended to leave those blank instead of putting the grid there, and I just forgot that I was going to do that. So these are the pages that I create to kind of keep ideas for the videos for my YouTube channel. So I have kind of a running idea list here, and then I have a schedule over on the right side. So I am just lettering this with those same dual brush markers. This one is like a dark brown. And then again with these stamps, I'm just using multiple stamp sets that I've just had in my stash for a long time. I use this theme quite a bit, probably at least once a year, because I love coffee. And so again, doing that same thing with using the markers to ink up the stamp if I didn't have the right kind of green. So here I'm going to use another stamp, and again just using that Faber-Castell marker to add the green on here, and then that kind of fills in some of the gap after that word schedule. And then I'm going to use this is a warm gray from these pit markers, and I'm just going to add a little bit of shadow just to give this a little bit of interest. And then I'm going to come in with that, actually that's the Pentel Sign pen, and just to kind of fill in the little coffee, it looks like one of the, coffee designs at the top. And so I'm just using the tip of that to kind of just color in the little coffee part. This section over here on the left is going to be my line a day, and I'm using a Faber-Castell brush marker, but it's not the big brush, it's just the regular size, in kind of this sagey green color, and then just lettering that, and then I'm going to kind of create drop shadows for each of these boxes. I really like this page, just as a way to kind of remember something that happened that day, or write a scripture or a quote or just whatever. I just really like having this section. And then I'm stamping some little coffee beans down along the bottom as a little border. And then this next page is my project bingo page. I love this page. I use this page every month. And I don't always get everything done on it, but I just like this page. I just like doing it like this. Just kind of gives me a random look at things that I want to get done. Now, I did stamp this one, and it didn't stamp quite as well as I would like, but that's a good thing about using these markers, is I was able to just go in and use the smaller nib size and fix the area that I had messed up. So that worked out really, really well. And then I'm going to go ahead and color this coffee cup, just because I want to add a little bit of color to this page. Once I get everything listed in here and start filling in the boxes, obviously this page will become more colorful, but for right now, I'm just going to start with my little free space and have a little coffee cup in there. And then I realized I forgot to write the word project on this, so I'm going to pull out my Flair marker and then just write the word project over the word bingo. This is pretty much how I do this every month. I should probably try and change it up, but for now it was working. And then I decided to skip backwards just a little bit, and I had this washi tape that I've been trying to use up, and so I decided to do this across the bottom of these two pages. And then I've had this washi tape in my stash for I don't even know how long. And this month is finally the end of this roll. I actually completed using it. Off camera, after I had stopped filming, I actually added some to my weekly calendars as well. But what I'm doing here is I'm using these bigger coffee cups for the days of the week. So I'll be able to kind of indicate that this is Monday and the day, the date. And so I stamped those in brown, and then I'm writing in green just to, have some contrast there. And then I went around with that warm gray marker and just added a little bit of shadowing behind those little coffee cups. And now I'm going to use another one of those big brush markers, and I'm just going to hand letter for the days of the week. So just April 1st through 7th. And then I decided this month, last month I did all of my habit trackers on one page, and about halfway through I ended up losing track, and I'm really bad about tracker. I want trackers to work for me, and I'm having a hard time finding a way that's going to work. So I'm going back to an old way. I used to do this way a long time ago, where I actually include my habit tracker on the week that I'm working on, instead of having just one page with all the trackers. So I will be including that on this page. You can see I'm just stamping some little coffee beans and stuff. So here's where I'm actually including my little habit tracker. And so I just labeled each one of the days, and then I will list out my habits, and then I can hopefully keep a better track of those because I'm going to be looking at this calendar in theory every day. So I'm not going to make me do the rest of the weeks, but it will all kind of follow that same process. So each one of my weeks is going to look exactly the same. I did not change that up. Last month I had changed like the style of each week. This month I was going for something that was just easy and tried and true. And so just for time's sake, I just kept the same weekly format. And I came back through on these two pages in particular and added just a little bit of coffee beans just for some interest at the top. And then back to the title page, I want to include a big coffee cup on this page. I just felt like it needed a little something here kind of in the middle. And then I put a sentiment in there that says coffee because adulting is hard, which is also hilarious. And then I'm going to just kind of use that warm gray marker to kind of color this little cup in just a little bit. And this is how everything looks once it's finished. And again, I did add some more washi tape in some places, but I'll show that when I do next month and I do the after the pin. So anyway, if you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.